Hello friends, welcome back. My name is Natalie and this is my channel, Sun in Cancer. I realized that I have not posted in like 2 weeks, so obviously I was reflecting, starting to feel bad that I wasn't being creative, I wasn't making any content, I wasn't making any effort to do something. But in reality, all my ideas were in my head. You know, I would sit down on my laptop and write everything out that I wanted to do, and I kind of made a schedule for myself. And when the days would come, I'd just be like, I don't want to do it, but I realize I need to respect my body, and that's the whole point of my channel, right? Like I'm trying to listen more to my body and not try to be so consumed of the idea of what I should be doing versus intentionally doing the things that make me happy. Even if they are things that make me happy, I just don't feel called to work in it at the moment. There's nothing wrong with that. So I'm here to just vent that out, but to move on. Although I really like to praise myself for not doing the things that I don't want to do, there are also moments where there are things that I do want to do, but I just don't feel the need to do them right now, or like I understand there's a need to do them, I just personally just don't have the energy to do it, or I'm not in the mental space to get it done my best. I still find myself getting burnt out because I'm creating these tasks for myself that I don't really resonate with. It's like some days I fluctuate, other days, some days I love following a schedule, and other days I'm like, I just don't really want to right now, and then I kind of avoid it for a few days, and those could be some bad traits of mine. So me not being productive these past few weeks made me realize that even in creating those things that make you happy, creating things that you love, you could still find yourself in some type of toxic productivity. Even if you're not physically doing anything. Like me, I was starting to create a negative environment in my mind, thinking I have to do this, I have to do that, or I should be doing this, I should be doing that, when in all reality my body just wanted a break from it. I was consistent, although it was the start of my creation. I was, I think, 2 or 3 weeks consistent, and then I kind of just dipped down a little bit, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I think I'm coming on here moving my camera because I don't have a steady audience yet, but just trying to say, for me, my future self, when you watch these videos, know that you are trying your best, okay? What you're creating is intentional. You're not forcing yourself to say certain things or be a certain way. You are just creating intentionally because the whole point is to connect with people who really resonate with the content you're making. Toxic productivity could be overextending yourself to the point of burnout. It's feeling like you need to do these certain things, like certain tasks, and feeling like you need to get it done, and majority of the time they end up being things that don't carry much substance. What I have found is just doing and finding the things that I can make a priority. You know, it's not like I have to invest my time in this cup, this cup, this cup, this cup. In the early seasons that I am in, I could more so focus on one cup that can expand my ideas eventually down the road, and that I can take small steps to complete it. That way it's a little more nurtured, it's more intentional, I feel more connected with the task at hand, and when it's completed I feel excited to go to the next step. And this definitely isn't my first rodeo. I've always loved the idea of creating content and, you know, being an influencer, I would say, just because I love sharing, I love talking, and I think I was shamed a lot for being that way, but I'm kind of growing out of my shell learning to love myself, learning to be myself. You know, this is the whole point of this channel, to reflect on the journey that I have been on. I have worked many jobs, and I have fallen in love with those jobs and then slowly fell out of love with them. And you know, I gave it my all. I worked really hard. I did what I needed to do, and then after certain issues or certain situations, I realized I would feel bad. I'm like, oh, I'm not doing enough, or I'm not performing enough, or I should be getting these better grades. I should be doing more. I should be working outside of these hours to excel. But I would sit back and realize these are things that I actually don't have a passion for. And it started to feel very draining. It felt like more of a chore and a burden than it did it being something that I was doing, something that I wanted to grow in, something that I wanted to become a better person in, or become better at. And I would always be angry at myself for realizing, am I inconsistent? Am I the negative person here? Am I the bad person here? Should I have tried harder? Should I have done something different? When in reality, I really was listening to my body. I was listening to my heart that wasn't happy, and my brain that was very, very fogged in those moments. And I feel like I always made the right decisions, but I cared too much of the outliers and the outsiders, and began thinking less of myself. Thinking, well, so-and-so wants me to do this, so I need to do this, or so-and-so wants me to do that, and I should be performing well, I should be doing this. If I want to be successful, I have to do this, and I burnt myself out tremendously. I came to a point where I was like, what are my basic needs? What is it that I need to make it through, if that makes sense? And now I'm really just living intuitively. I'm living and doing, taking steps as I feel a step should be taken, and working on the things that I really feel benefit me, whether that's exercising. I take my time with it, creating content that I love doing, and taking my time with it, learning what foods really fuel my body and provide me with the right nutrition that make me happy and healthy at the same time, and taking my time with it. Like, I think it's so important to always step back from being in that tunnel vision that you're in, because at the end of the day, I feel like everyone has their own opinions on the whole hustle culture, and I think both sides are right. You know, some people don't agree with the hustle culture, and other people thrive off of the hustle culture. But what the other thinks shouldn't be a significant factor on your path. And I think both sides are beautiful. I've been on both sides, and I'm currently on the more slower side now, because I personally don't thrive off of fast-paced hustle culture. It's just my number one way for me to burn out, and I think that's beautiful that I was able to acknowledge that, and I moved intentionally and thought, okay, well, if this didn't work out for me, well, now I know. Now maybe let's try this. And I think that is the whole point of us being here on this earth. So whatever path you're on, whatever you're working towards, I know it can get hard. I know it can feel like if you're not being productive enough, or if you're being too productive, or you're not putting time into this, but you're putting all your time into that. I think it's so important to kind of step back from that tunnel vision you've created for yourself, and always remember the bigger picture. You can easily get lost in the sauce, forget your why, forget why you're doing what you're doing, or what is even serving you purpose anymore, what you should make space for, what you should get rid of. When you're able to start living that way, I think you create space for the task and for the things that you really want to do, the things that you feel take you to the next step, and thereafter. My own personal experience with hustle culture was a very big lesson for myself. It made me realize the extent that I can push myself to. And in the beginning, for sure, it's nice when you're working hard, and when you are working hard and you're working really hard day and night, you do tend to see results a lot faster. But I think it's the substance of those results. And I realized how, in order for me to continue to see this, I have to continue at this pace. And I just wasn't okay with that anymore. I stopped devoting time to the gym. I stopped devoting time to my self-care because I was just focusing on work, which again, there's nothing wrong with, but I realized I love being in my feminine space. I love being a woman. I love being slow, and I love taking care of myself. I love having peace in my heart and peace in my mind, and not having a very stressful mind, and not having a very stressful environment or a very heavy mental load of things to do or things to be reaching or where I should be next. And that's really what makes men and women different, in my opinion. And I love being in my feminine energy, and that is definitely why I've created what I've created my blog, I created this channel, because this is me. This is what makes me happy. This is who I feel the most connected to. And I feel like as women, when we try to implement things that we're consuming from, whether it's social media or maybe our parents or friends who are really just like in your face telling you, you should be doing this, you should be here, you should be here, you are constantly at a state where you're valuing your self-worth with how productive you could be. I really believe I'm attracting an audience who wants to hear what it is that I have to say, and I'm here to tell you that it is okay to just be. It is okay to just take your time figuring out what it is that you want to do. It's not okay to make excuses for your dreams. It's not okay to feel like your dreams aren't of value, or you're not worthy of your dreams, or even if it's just goals that you have, small little systems that you can implement in your life can help you get to those certain levels that you're striving towards. And I feel like there are a lot of women out there who have just completely detached themselves from their being, from their feminine nature. And what I have found after realizing I cannot keep up with the hustle culture, not keep up with the idea of achieving something in a certain amount of time. I think that's why I really never resonated with school. I really never resonated with timelines, and I can't be happy off of it. I can't be happy off of literally suffering to try to please others or be accepted for things that carry no substance, in my opinion. And the ways that I have found to bring healing is to create realistic goals. Set realistic goals. There's nothing wrong with taking a really long time to achieve those goals. Obviously, you're not going to be unintentional about it, right? You're not going to just set something and be like, oh, whatever time it takes me, I'll get it. It's peaceful, that brings peace, but also it brings a lot of anxiety at the same time, so you don't want to, take steps backwards. Create realistic goals, whether it's in the gym, if it's your eating habits, or, a business that you want to start. Take small steps. Don't feel like you need to have it all figured out right away. Start slow. Connect with people who may know more about what it is that you want to do, and don't feel embarrassed to ask for help. Please do not feel embarrassed to ask for help. Set these realistic goals and take your time with them step by step. And on each step, you're going to realize more about yourself. You're going to realize what you can handle, what you love, what you see yourself doing, and take it from there. Another thing that I have found has brought a lot of healing is creating a schedule that works for you. Please, I feel like it is so mind-blowing. I mean, it's awesome. Some people can create a schedule a month in advance and they follow it to a T. I mean, I would, love to be there one day, but right now, the season that I'm in, I don't think that I'm experienced enough to kind of compartmentalize all of the tasks and kind of find ways that make what it is that I want to do a lot easier. So now what I have found is just creating a schedule that works for me. I can change it daily or weekly, and I just input the tasks that I really want to focus on right now. And I think you guys should try that. When people talk about creating schedules, they don't talk about it being okay to change the schedule. They don't talk about it being okay if you make mistakes on the schedule. The whole point of a schedule is to kind of create boundaries, boundaries with your work life, boundaries with your personal life, your business life, your family, your friends. You can kind of input the time slots that you really want to focus on things that matter to you. Like, okay, in the morning, this time is my time, or in the afternoon after work, this time is for my family, or in the evening, this is where I'm gonna devote time to taking those steps into starting my new business. The last way that I have found has brought so much healing is to just rest. Rest, people. Listen to your body. There's nothing wrong with sleeping in some days, whether it's on the weekend or on your days off. Don't feel bad about needing to rest. If your body is very groggy or your mind is super foggy and you only have the energy to wake up, eat something, and go back and take a nap, there's nothing wrong with that. Oh my God, this feels so healing right now, because when I was younger, bless my mother, I know her intentions were good, but my goodness, this woman never rested. She was always go, go, go. And she was a stay-at-home mom, she was always taking care of the house, taking care of the family, but she never took care of herself. And me watching that, it kind of instilled in me that I should never have time to take care of myself, because others need me and other things need my attention. Or if my mom was tired, she always felt like she couldn't sit down and relax. She couldn't go upstairs, take a nap. Or my mom has this beautiful jacuzzi in her bathroom. My mom has never used that jacuzzi, and that is so sad to me. And I think that is a part of, side note, I think that is a part of my whole entire healing journey. I feel like I'm kind of healing parts of the mother wounds that I have still attached with my mom. I feel like I'm healing that for myself, for her, if that makes sense. Listen to your body, beautiful beings. You are not a machine. You are not meant to be on go mode 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You are meant to rest on certain times. You can create a healthy balance in your productivity, okay? You don't have to be on both ends of the spectrum, which they say is both ends are toxic productivity. You want to be in the middle, which is healthy productivity, because if you're too far this way, you are consumed by your work, and if you're too far this way, you are either consumed by your feelings. So if you're consumed by your feelings, that means that toxic productivity is you're not doing anything at all, and if you're consumed by work, is you are doing too much. You want to be balanced. Please, 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 if you loved anything that I had to say in this video, I would love to connect with you guys here on my YouTube channel or over on my blog, sunincancer.com. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sending you so much love and so many blessings your way. I will see you in my next video. Until then, bye.